Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. There are growing calls tonight for the royal family to distance itself further from Prince Andrew and his ex-wife following explosive new revelations concerning her private correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein. Just weeks after publicly condemning Epstein and vowing never to speak to him again, Sarah Ferguson sent a gushing email in which she praised him as a steadfast, generous and supreme friend. The message, dated April 26, 2011, comes a mere 50 days after her high-profile interview with the Evening Standard, in which she declared, "I abhor pedophilia and any sexual abuse of children and know that this was a gigantic error of judgment on my behalf." That March 7 interview saw the Duchess offer what was described as a heartfelt apology for accepting $19,500 from Epstein to help settle debts. She told the Evening Standard, "I personally, on behalf of myself, deeply regret that Jeffrey Epstein became involved in any way with me. Whenever I can, I will repay the money and have nothing ever to do with Jeffrey Epstein ever again." However, in the email uncovered by the Mail on Sunday, Ferguson adopted a markedly different tone. She wrote, "You have always been a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend to me and my family. I did not, absolutely not, say the P word about you, but understand it was reported that I did." She went on to apologize for the delay in responding to Epstein, writing, "It is unlike me," she claimed. "I was advised in no uncertain terms to have nothing to do with you and to not speak or email you, and if I did, I would cause more problems to you, the Duke and myself. I was broken and lost. I didn't want to hurt Andrew one more time. We are and have both been in the firing line, blamed for stuff we have not done. I write this from the truth of my heart." Ferguson has now confirmed the authenticity of the email, claiming she only wrote it under threat of legal action from Epstein and on the advice of others who urged her to appease him. Royal biographer Andrew Lowney told the Royalist, "It's not £15,000, it's more like £2 million. It's why Andrew went to see him in December 2010, just to get a bit more money out of him. And what she hasn't explained, even the £15,000, is whether that money was repaid. We can't trust a single word she says." Some insiders now believe the King may have no option but to consider preventing the Duke of York from attending family gatherings, even in a private capacity. At the very least, they suggest he could be asked to attend in a less visible way. The phrase backdoor is being thrown about. One source described it as about the last sanction he may be able to take, adding that there is real concern further damaging revelations could emerge. Harry's interview with The Guardian has reportedly stirred deep frustration within the royal household, just days after his quiet reunion with King Charles during a brief UK visit. Shutter Scoop reports that sources close to the royal family are deeply displeased. One palace insider claimed his mouth is his biggest problem, and added that Harry digs the hole deeper each time he speaks publicly. A second insider went further, saying he acts like repeating these stories helps, but it just twists the knife, and suggested the family is livid because they let him back in, and this is how he repays them. There is also skepticism about any suggestion that the Duke may have been misquoted. "That excuse doesn't fly anymore," said another source. His words were loud and clear. They added, "The sad truth is, it's costing him his family." Reports had suggested that Team Harry might seek to use the meeting between father and son to drive a wedge between Charles and William. One royal source said such syrupy briefings from supposed Sussex circles were precisely why the royal family remained cautious about reconciliation, warning that far from building trust, they had the opposite effect. The source pointed to last week's state visit, which they said highlighted the unshakable bond between the King and the Prince of Wales, supported by other working members of the family. Prince Harry will not be permitted to return as a half-in, half-out working royal, despite recent speculation following his private meeting with the King. Royal sources emphasized that Charles remains committed to the late Queen's decision that such an arrangement is impossible, and that suggestions Harry could take some sort of the load off his brother, the Prince of Wales, are wide off the mark. A source remarked that those briefing on Harry's behalf seemed to have mistaken a brief tea and a slice of cake for the Treaty of Versailles. While occasional private meetings between father and son are not ruled out, there are no plans for Harry to resume public royal duties. Insiders have expressed frustration at claims the Duke's recent visit to the UK signalled a thaw in relations or a potential new working model. They warn that such briefings only serve to erode trust. The King and Prince of Wales are understood to remain united in their approach, with courtiers pointing to the recent state visit by President Trump as an example of the strength of the modern monarchy. Sources close to Harry insist that he is content with his life in California, visiting the UK only to support his charities and causes. They stress that reconciliation with his family is a personal matter, but that he has no intention of rejoining the royal family in any formal capacity. More palace in just a moment. The Belfast-based rap group Kneecap used their recent performance at Wembley Arena to deliver a pointed political message, condemning President Donald Trump's state visit to the UK and criticising both Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the royal family. Ahead of taking the stage on Thursday evening, the group displayed a message that read, "Starmer welcomed Isaac Herzog to this city like a king last week. Today Trump is here, the man who permits the slaughter." During the show, band members made several comments that would be difficult for us to present without swearing, but the sentiment was negative toward Mr. Trump and also encouraged the release of the Epstein files, all said in a colourful manner. Mo Chara led the crowd in chants of F the royal family. Buckingham Palace has announced several job openings, including one that requires no prior experience. Among the vacancies is a full-time kitchen porter role based within the royal residence and commencing in October 2025 on a fixed 2-year contract. The position involves up to 45 hours per week, spread across 5 days with a 7-day rota, and offers accommodations and meals for those living on site. While previous experience in a similar role would be an advantage, the palace emphasizes that full training will be provided. Applicants are expected to take pride in their work, enjoy being part of a team, and show enthusiasm for developing their skills in what is described as an exceptional team environment. The salary is listed as competitive plus benefits, with adjustments made to account for housing and meals. The royal household notes that it reviews pay annually to reflect the market median and also offers performance rewards. In The Royalist, Tom Sykes compares King Charles' 2 daughters-in-law. Sykes writes, as Kate Middleton was wooing and wowing Donald Trump in London this week, Meghan Markle posted a photo of herself picking strawberries for her jam, talking about spinning gold into straw. Looking at a photograph that Meghan Markle posted on Wednesday of herself tending strawberries on Instagram to promote her as-ever jam brand, as Kate Middleton wowed the world at a state dinner and reduced Donald Trump to politeness, was an astonishing reminder of just how badly Meghan has played what, just 7 short years ago, looked like a very, very good hand. She held cards very few people would even dare dream of. She had been the star of a wildly popular royal wedding. She was surfing a wave of global goodwill. She had a built-in platform to effect truly global change on a phenomenal scale, having been appointed to the role of Commonwealth Ambassador by the late Queen Elizabeth II, and the world's press were hanging on every word. She had the Vogue guest edit, the star power, and the promise of a modernized multiracial monarchy with herself and her kids at the center of its gigantic cultural footprint. Skipping ahead to last week, Sykes adds, whatever the intent, the contrast was brutal. Kate operating at head of state altitude, Meghan filming content to sell condiments. This was entirely avoidable. I have a lot of sympathy with Meghan and Harry's decision to leave the royal family. In a way, it's the only sensible response to being born into that institution. But to waste the once-in-a-generation profile those guys had, to sell it for a few $1 million as the strategy hopped from grievance to glossy to goods and a relaunch of the TIG, illustrated with me picking strawberries. And there you have it. Like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. We're available now on Facebook and Instagram. Come on over, say hi, post a photo, or even a story. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.